In the 19th century, powerful men in Europe gathered to decide the fate of a continent they hardly knew. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885 became a turning point in Africa's history, when foreign powers redrew maps without Africa's input. This tale of Africa's division and struggle is one of betrayal, resistance, and enduring hope. It also serves as a cautionary lesson about unchecked ambition and the power of a people apt to reclaim their destiny. This is a story of the scramble for Africa. By the late 19th century, Europe was gripped by industrial revolution and imperial ambition. Great powers like Britain, France, and Germany were drawn to Africa's resources: gold, diamonds, rubber, and fertile land. To these nations, Africa was not a land of civilizations, but a treasure trove to be exploited. This scramble intensified after Henry Mott and Stanley's expeditions in the Congo Basin revealed untapped wealth. Belgium's king, Leopold II, claimed the region, sparking rivalries among European powers. Fearing conflict, German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck convened the Berlin Conference, pretending to promote civilized colonization. The conference, held in 1884 to 1885, involved representatives from 14 nations, including the US, though Africans were not invited. European powers carved up Africa, ignoring its people's ethnic, linguistic, and cultural boundaries. Leopold secured control of the Congo Free State, claiming humanitarian intentions. Britain expanded its grips on Egypt and South Africa, while France dominated West Africa. Germany took East and Southwest Africa. Nearly 90% of Africa was under European control by the time the conference ended. Ancient kingdoms were dismantled, communities were split, and ethnic groups were forced into artificial states. After exploitation and slavery had begun to progress, some Africans stood up to fight colonization. The Asante Kingdom in West Africa, led by Queen Mother Ya Asantewaa, fought British forces. In East Africa, the Maji-Maji Rebellion united communities against German rule. Samori Touré, a West African ruler, fought the French with a powerful army and guerrilla tactics. Despite his eventual capture, Touré remained a symbol of African defiance against foreign domination. Ethiopia, led by Emperor Menelik II, defeated Italy at the Battle of Adwa in 1896. Menelik modernized his army and outmaneuvered European powers, making Ethiopia a beacon of African sovereignty. Leopold's Congo Free State became a horror story of exploitation. Millions of Congolese were enslaved to extract rubber and ivory, facing brutal punishments and deaths that left an estimated 10 million dead. Colonial policies elsewhere displaced communities and disrupted livelihoods. Racist ideologies dehumanized Africans, promoting the false narrative that they were inferior and in need of civilization. The struggle for Africa continued into the 20th century as Africans organized movements and demanded freedom. World War II was a turning point as African soldiers returned home, inspired by ideas of self-determination. By the 1960s, most African nations had achieved independence. However, the colonial borders drawn in Berlin remained, fueling conflicts and challenging post-colonial leaders to build cohesive states. The Berlin Conference and the struggle for Africa offer powerful lessons for the world. 1. Division imposed from outside leads to enduring conflicts. 2. Resistance, even in the darkest times, shows humanity's capacity for dignity and justice. 3. Exploitation has lasting consequences, demanding sustainable approaches to development. 4. Unity is essential for overcoming legacies of division and building a prosperous future. Now, the responsibility lies with African leaders and people to honor this legacy. By prioritizing unity, justice, and sustainable development, they can address the enduring scars of colonialism and build a prosperous, inclusive future. They must avoid corruption, selfishness, and greed, which only perpetuates division and injustice. The duty is to rise above past failures, foster self-reliance, and create opportunities that inspire the next generation to believe in Africa's limitless potential.